massive sweat mark on the bench. That's lovely. I'm going to clear that up quick. It really doesn't take a lot to clear up your mess. You know, put your weights away. Clean the equipment you've just used. Really doesn't take a lot. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, I guess. Anyway, welcome back, YouTube, to another video. Today is bench press, working up to a top double at RP 5.5. I am now recovering from the flu, hence the snotty nose and horsey voice. It absolutely eliminated me. I didn't want to get out of bed for 2 days, but I'm a father of two. I have duties. I need to tend to those duties. I also have responsibilities outside of being a father. Anyway, let's sort this out quick. But a few of you are asking, why don't you use the safety clips? Well, considering I train on my own, the last thing I want to do is hoist, heave and haul heavy-ass weight, and then all of a sudden, for some strange reason, I can't hoist, heave or haul it. I have to be able to dump it, or at least throw it. So using the clips is probably a no-go. That was a very silky smooth 145 kilograms for a double. I would say that is probably underneath my target RPE of 5.5. That was probably like an RPE 4. I should go heavier, theoretically. Logistically, I should go about 150. But I do have another bench session in 2 days, which is a heavy single. So I'm going to play it conservative. I'm going to save some room for... Every time I want to spit something out, it just doesn't come out because this bloody flu is eating my brain cells alive. I want to save some room for fatigue when it comes to my next session. That's why I'm playing it conservative. I usually play it conservative for my secondary days regardless, just so I have more room for fatigue on the primary days. I am tired. I am ill. And I just want to smash this session out. Being tired and being ill puts me in a very foul, irritable mood because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that I'm tired. I'm frustrated that I'm ill. I'm tired because I'm ill. If I wasn't ill, I wouldn't be tired. My back-off sets are 3 sets of 4 repetitions at RP5. I could probably squeeze out 140 kilograms for 3 sets of 4 at RP5, but I'm also going to play my back-off sets conservative. Again, I'm simply sparing room in the fatigue jug for this Sunday's heavy single and the back-off sets that are going to follow that heavy single. Right now, managing fatigue is crucial. I don't want to be too conservative, but then I would rather be a little bit too conservative than overshoot an RPE, which will set me up for failure. It will jeopardize my future sessions leading up to the competition. I have this habit of heaving, so I'll let the bar sink right into my chest and then press it off my chest. That's not illegal in competition, as long as the bar doesn't bounce back from your chest or sink into your chest from a stop and then you press. But it does make it harder because you do end up going through more range of motion. I'm making it a habit to soft touch. Moving on to the overhead press, the barbell overhead press, not the dumbbell or machine, the barbell overhead press. I don't know why I said it like that. That was very mysterious, very curious almost. This exercise, my coach, James Adcock, 2-time national champion, 1-time European champion, was very hesitant to add back into my program because of damage control. Movements like this can carry over a lot of fatigue into your squat, bench press, and deadlift. Other exercises like Bulgarian split squats or weighted dips are also examples of exercises that carry a lot of fatigue into the squat, bench, and deadlift. So I've just got to be careful, essentially. I've got to make the Ginger Ninja proud by controlling the fatigue so he doesn't have to control the damage too much. Now, I'm using the same grip as my bench press, so I have direct carryover. So it directly carries over to the bench press. It only makes sense. Everything I do now must be focused around the squat, bench, and deadlift. So however I do the squat, bench, and deadlift, the accessory exercises must be relevant to them. For example, I squat with a narrow stance, I deadlift with a narrow stance. So it only makes sense for me to do pendulum squats with a narrow stance. I bench with a narrow grip. So it only makes sense for me to overhead press with a narrow grip. You see what I'm saying? Everything must be relevant. Otherwise it won't carry over directly. Now, that is where damage control comes in. That is where fatigue management comes in. I know this is going to sound very contradicting, but if I do that too much, then it's going to, like I said, with this exercise alone, spill over to the squat, bench, and deadlift a little bit too much. So it's okay to keep variation. For example, with the incline bench press, because I'm not doing ultra wide grip or max comp grip on the normal bench press, I can do it on the incline bench press. But yeah, let's just crack on with it like an egg. Like an egg in a frying pan, and then you get your wooden spoon, mix it up, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe even a little bit of cheese, scramble it, slap it into a bowl, and then swallow it like a seagull, like Bevo does a sausage, or some chips, or whatever he eats. He just swallows it without chewing it. Ghastly, it's horrifying, it's nightmarish. Yeah. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I think I'll stick to that weight. Again, playing it conservative today. Heavy single coming up in literally a couple of days. So, gotta be smart. Gotta use the old big brain. Be very logistic about this, you know, like an engineer. Just with no PhD or masters in engineering. Not even any knowledge or wisdom in engineering. Just forget I said that. I also think that was 9, not 8. I want to see what it's like when I'm right on the inside at the start of the knurling. I think that's a bit too... Oh my God. Oh my God. I think I just blew my own back out. I think I just clapped my own cheeks. Holy moly. That incredibly narrow grip for the... Oh, yeah, that is way too narrow for my large wingspan. I'm 5'8" and have the arms of an ape, of a frickin' monkey. I could swing on vines all day long without an issue. So the next accessory exercise... excuse me, that was very rude. The next accessory exercise is pull-ups. 3 sets, that's 5. Unless you're counting all the fingers, then 4 fingers and 1 thumb. So I'm either doing 4 or 1. Unless you count all together, then 5. Anyway, 3 sets of it's 3 sets of AMRAP. Now I get to choose whether it's bodyweight or weighted. I think what I'm going to do is just be conservative. Stick to like 3 sets of maybe 10 bodyweight, but really strict. You know, really clean form, quality over quantity. So let's just stick to bodyweight. Play it smart, play it safe. You know, wear a Johnny. I don't want another kid, I've already got 2. I love my girls, but they can be a right pain in the arse sometimes. Couldn't imagine 3 running around, let alone 2. I seem to be breeding females, not males. Okay. Yeah. I'm more fatigued than I thought I was. Another example of making an accessory exercise relevant to the squat, bench, and deadlift. This accessory cable handle thingamabobby is roughly the same width of my bench press. Now, obviously, the lat plays a huge role in the pressing movement. So, using a, whatever the hell it's called, the same width as my bench press, will again carry directly over to the bench press. But yeah, got to keep balance. You know, the yin and yang, good and bad, bad and good, and vice versa, even though it's saying the same thing, but just in a different way. Okay. Cheers for letting me jump in. Moving on to some single arm lat pull downs on the super lat pull down circular, not triangular, not rectangular, circular. Super lat pull down circular. What a banana's name. Who came up with that? I don't understand it, because obviously when you're pulling it down, it's in a circular motion, but it's more of a crest, not circle. You know, circular, I suppose. It is circular. Crestular. Moon. Half moon. The super lat pull down half moon machine. I'd have gone better. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Right. Music. You're wondering what I'm listening to? I'm listening to Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Wow. Yes, I've just binge watched The Hobbit, and now moving back to The Lord of the Rings. I love The Lord of the Rings, and you know what? Even though The Hobbit, the CGI was rather intense, kind of lost the immersion a little bit here and there, a bit goofy here and there. The story behind it you just cannot ignore. I feel like out of all three of them, 1 and 2 are the best. 1 being the best, 2 being good, 3 being mediocre. It was okay. I feel like they rushed number 3, but yes, back to the roots, Lord of the Rings. I cannot wait to start watching it again. I'll start watching it tomorrow. I'm absolutely shattered. It's quite late in the day. It's about 9 o'clock, and I'm falling apart at the stem, at the steams, at the seams. I'm falling apart at the seams, god darn it! Yeah, I like this machine. It's good. It really does isolate each lat. A good amount of blood circulating the areas that I want it to be circulating in, supplying the muscles with those oxygen-rich red blood cells, just like my immune system is providing me a ton of white blood cells to fight this forsaken illness within me that is corrupting and consuming my soul as we speak. Moving on to reverse curls, and then curls with the easy bar curl bar. Now, whilst this doesn't necessarily, well, it does, but it doesn't have a direct carryover to the bench press. This is more for grip and forearm strength, bicep strength for stability. The biceps play a huge part in stabilizing the bench press and the deadlift. Even the squat, especially low bar, when that bar is low and you've got to keep it on your back, you've got to keep it on your shelf. And as for the grip strength and forearm strength, well, that's kind of obvious, isn't it? You need to grip hold of the bar, you need to def grip that bad boy, you need to keep hold of it. Moving on to easy bar, curl bar, reverse curls and curls. I do 2 sets of 8 to 10 each exercise. Now, whilst this doesn't have a complete and utter direct carryover to the squat, bench and deadlift, it still has a carryover to the squat, bench and deadlift. And I'm going to tell you why. You do the reverse curls for grip and forearm strength. That way you can def grip that bar a lot easier and for a lot longer. That especially helps in the deadlift. And then curls for strengthening the bicep. The bicep is a major stabilizer in exercises like the bench press and the deadlift. It is also a stabilizer when low bar back squatting, not so much high bar back squatting. The traps and the shoulders play a bit more of a role in stabilizing the bar when you're high barring. But when you're low barring, when you're low bar back squatting, that bar is quite low on your back, so you do have to keep it there, which does require a deal of bicep stabilization. Think about it. You're bringing your arm in, you're flexing that arm to keep that bar on your back. If your biceps were weak, you're going to find your arms fatigue a lot quicker. And I suppose the reverse curls do carry over in their own way, just like the curls. But yes, these 2 exercises, the reverse curl and the curl with the easy curl bar, what? I went into some sort of loop there. Too many magic mushrooms. Yeah, good exercise, good carryover. I find it a valuable exercise. spooked me. I believe I've been suffering with this thing called anterior pelvic tilt. Essentially, when I'm standing straight, my hips are that way when they should be this way. I should be standing like this, not this. This, not this. It explains a lot, because when I do certain exercises, my hips and my back fire away, end up sore and start aching. If I correct it, so I stand like this, then I correct it, it feels good, but I can't maintain it. I can literally feel the hips and glutes firing away trying to maintain this position. But it feels like a better position. It feels more comfortable, if that makes sense. This, I didn't realize just how bad it was until I looked in the mirror recently and thought, something just ain't quite right about the way that I stand and have stood for so many years. I've probably been like this for a decade or maybe a bit less than that, but at least around that time frame, between 5 to 10 years, I've had this anterior pelvic tilt. I need to correct it. I think it's time to correct it, because I have been standing, like making a conscious effort to stand with my pelvis a bit further underneath my body, and it feels great. I just can't maintain it. I just did it with reverse curls, and reverse curls have never felt better. I'm going to do it with curls and see if it makes a difference. So, standing normally, corrected. Yeah, that makes a difference, a good difference. Wow, it looks like I'm thrusting air, like micro thrusting the air, nano thrusts, but I'm simply just bringing my pelvis underneath me a little bit. It feels so much better. Even standing, like I can just feel everything in a better position, but then I do this, it's like, how strange. I've lived with this for so long. My hips are literally like up, but they're trying to have a look at the ceiling, have a gander at the ceiling, like one feeling, and then I bring it under, and it just feels more comfortable. I feel like a relief. It's so strange. Maybe I need to strengthen the old hips, do some sort of hip strength and hip mobility work. Damn, my arms are looking swole recently. I can even see the striations in my shoulders beneath the shirt. This is walking with normal posture. And then bringing the pelvis. God, that feels so much better. I can feel my glutes. Oh my goodness. Yes, I really need to sort this out. Yeah, I need to get this sorted. I need to see a physio. Confirmed. I might as well do this set on camera. It's just disastrous. I mean, at least I've noticed it. Could have went into old age with a really fucked up back and pair of hips. Okay, that'll do. I'm done, donkey. I'm done. Oh, it's bedtime. If this is me naturally, imagine me on gear. I'd be a mass monster. I'd be ginormous. Like the Hulk. Holy. Oh, I'm gonna break my back. Holy shit, Christmas has arrived early, boys and girls. Who delivered the Christmas tree? I did. Yeah. Oh, that back looks insane. Absolutely crazy. Let's have a look at it again. Yes. I'm a powerlifter. Oh, with one of the greatest backs in history. Look at that. Oh, I can feel it. It's like speed bumps. Who stole the Christmas trees? I did. I stole them. They're mine now.